Hello guys, this is part 6 of making a training route. So here we just came from the Greendale Forest races. There's 3 there. I really liked them. Now we're going to go towards Jarlaheim. We're going to go down to the dock area first and do that little race down there. And then we're going to go through the back. We're going to go past this cafe and go to Paddock Island. I always like this race. It's pretty easy. I don't have any news for today. Today I'm just thinking about how I have to edit one of my videos for my other channel, and I'm gonna start doing voiceovers on there too, and I'm really nervous because I haven't spoken on that channel before. I've just done like text on the screen, but I'm not getting good like video retention, and I think it's like a video like niche that gets good retention, but I think, you know, when it's just music and text you click off. So I'm gonna start trying to connect with the audience there and do voiceovers, but I'm like super nervous to do that. I don't know why, because I'm not nervous about these, but those ones when I already have like a little bit of an established following to then share my voice for the first time, I'm a little bit nervous because it's like posting my very first video all over again, you know what I mean? So I'm just thinking about that, but that should go well. And if anyone watches these and is interested in my second channel, it's I'm not going to share the name until people are interested, but I just do my own nails every week. I do my manicure at home and I post those videos. Right now, I love the nail set that I have on. So I've had it on for about 2 weeks right now. I had to take it off sometime next week. It was going to be this weekend, but I'm busy. So it will be over 2 weeks that I've had this one nail set on, and that's normal when you like pay for a manicure, but when you post content, it should be like every other day, honestly, or twice a week. But I just could not be bothered to do the building process of the nails from scratch and then the removal process more than once a week. Like even once a week is a lot to do that on the nails, and then also just even if it wasn't damaging to the nails, it's really time consuming. So I post once a week, most weeks, and then about once a month or once every month and a half, I'll take one of the weeks off so that I can wear a good nail set for 2 weeks. So that's where I'm at right now. This current nail set has been on for, it will be over 2 weeks by the time I do another video. But yeah, I have a lot of good ideas for spring, for nail art and stuff like that. So I hope that I get a little more of an audience with voiceovers. I hope that's the ticket, because I've had that channel now since December. It's grown to about 600 subscribers, but not much like engagement, like no comments. I've never gotten a dislike, but not many likes. And the viewership like goes down after the first, you know, couple minutes. So I'm hoping that this change might help, but I'm a little bit nervous about that because it's the first time I'm doing a voiceover, so we'll see. Some other news is I saw that they're taking the beta testing and postponing it. They were gonna do it, I think, like the last week of March. I'm not doing that. Like I never was one of the beta testers the first round, and they're only using the same people. I wasn't a content creator back then, and I'm still not really. Like I'm posting these, but I don't have a following at all yet, so that will come with time. But yeah, they're postponing the beta testing. I just saw a YouTuber's video title about it just now. Like I have not watched it yet or read anything about it. I'll get some more details later, but maybe something's glitchy or whatever. But Star Stable is probably that they wanted this to be the last test and then release it right away. Like how the spoilers, people say, it's not a finished product. It almost always is the finished product. By the time CC Creations puts a spoiler out, it's almost always the finished product. It's only when like a bunch of people see it and they get that information out and they didn't want you to get it out, then they change something. I feel like sometimes it's like just to spite us, honestly. Like one of the Arabians, the dark chestnut Arabian, I think used to be plain and then they put a big blaze on it, and it was either that or the other way around, I don't remember, but they changed a big marking on it. And a lot of people were only going to buy it for the way it was, like for the blaze or not for the blaze, whichever way it was before. I don't know. Because again, I did not buy it because I wanted it the way that it was originally in the spoiler. And I had counted on that because the spoilers up to that point had been exactly what the final product is. So I had picked out the horses I was buying and I wanted that chestnut, and they changed it. And so I did not get it. And with this, like the Belgian Warmblood, the gray one, the dapple gray, not the like white gray, that used to be like a Concord gray, and then people were saying, well, this is Concord then, because that's what Anne's horse is supposed to look like, and people liked it because of that. But then a lot of people didn't like it because Concord was already going to look like that as a grown-up horse. So people didn't want another horse in game that looked like that everyone could have, because that's part of the story, is those horses are unique, So then they changed it to dapple gray for the final release, and not that like steel gray, Concord gray. So that change I liked, but some people didn't. They had decided on the Belgian Warmbloods they were going to buy, and they liked that gray, and that wasn't the final product. And it's not like it was the final, like, I don't know how to explain. It's not that they were going to change their mind before the release anyway. It's they know that the teasers got out, or the spoilers, and they saw the community reaction and then changed it. Like, that's what happened with that one. And with the Arabian, I just feel like they were mad that spoilers got out, because that was the first like really, really good horse that came out whenever they changed up the team a little bit around the horses and creating them. That was the first like really, really good horse that came out, if you remember, like the really good animations, really good walk, like a really good model. It's a first, like, I would call that like generation like 3.5 or something. Like that's the first iteration of like the really good horses. You know what I mean? And the spoilers got out and they changed one of the models because I think they just wanted to piss people off, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, with the Belgian Warmblood, for sure, it was a community feedback on a spoiler that it looked too much like what Concord would look like. So they changed that up really quick. And I like the change, I'm not too big on like 4 giant white stockings, but I do love a dapple gray. So I'm happy with that one. But yeah, the beta testing, I'll have to look into that and see what happened. But I'm positive it's because this was no longer a test. Like they were testing it, but it was gonna be like not altered again, and it was just gonna be released off of this test like in a couple months maybe, or at the end of summer or whatever. I was positive this would, like, it's the beta testers testing the final product. I'm positive that's what it is, but they know it's not ready. But I'll tell you, if it's beta testing or alpha testing, whatever, anything is ready for a test. It's just a test. We know if it's called testing that it's not the final product. So the fact that they pulled testing, to me, means it was not a testing product. It was a test of a final product. Do you understand? So that's what I think is going on. That they only altered them one time since the last beta testing, like fixed the animations, fixed the clothes, added a few more hairs, and they're showing the beta testers the product, but it's not really a testing product. It's the final product being tested. You know what I mean? and it just wasn't ready. It's ready for a test, but it's not ready for release. And I think they just don't want to alter anything after the test anymore. I think they want to test it and release it. And between this test that comes out, whenever they reschedule it, and the release, I don't think there will be any more alterations. Mark my words, there will not be any more alterations. Again, that's just my opinion, but mark my words, I could almost bet on it that between the next test and the release of the beta characters, or the player characters, I mean, they're not beta because they're going to be final. Anyway, between the next test of these characters and the release, there will be no more changes. None. I could almost guarantee it. So it makes no sense to pull the test if it's just a test. Unless the whole system was going down or something, the whole game system was going down upon launch of those little like Star Stable accounts that they were giving to those testers. Like, a thing you have to consider too is like, it takes a lot to run this game. It's a big game, and they have a really old system that they're doing it on. They don't want to restart on a new engine that everyone's on, like all the big games today are on, because it would just take too much time to rebuild this game from scratch. I don't know if they have people on the side doing that, like concurrently with this game running. That would be the smart thing, so that one day if this crashes or something, you have been already building the other one for a couple years. But they're probably not. So they had to make sure everything, every new addition, every saddle, every, saddle pad, every shirt for the rider, every pair of boots, like everything that they add to the game does not glitch it and break the game. So the characters being changed, updated, the old ones removed, the new ones replacing them, animations, you still have to, like they said, like, what do they call it? The state. So the horse state and the character state, those have to line up and sync and everything and work together. So for those to both be working, because we're going to get the horse state, I think, like in the next update, I'm pretty sure. But the player state, like for those to be working with the horse and in the game period, in the game code, you have to have it all working out in the game code. So maybe they postponed it because something in there was broken and they couldn't find it or something, and it was just unplayable, and so the characters are fine and they're not broken or whatever, but something in the coding is broken, and they may have to take everything apart in the character testing to fix that and find out what that is. Again, this is all speculation because I have not watched any videos about this. I've only seen somebody's title about it, and I'm gonna watch it after this probably. But I would almost guarantee you it's because the characters are not ready for release, but this was intended to be the ready for release character. Do you know what I mean? I'm almost positive that between the last beta test, this one that was supposed to be now, and the release, that there would have been no changes at all. So what you saw then was what we are gonna get. Even if there's a little glitches, they might fix them along the way, and that's totally fine. I have no problem with that. But when you hand that stuff to creators to test and share on their platforms, you know there's going to be a lot of criticism and glitches and everything that people are going to find, because people will be like climbing mountains and stuff to get into weird areas and stuff like that. So people will do little things in their spare time to, I don't want to say exploit, but exploit the game, like go into areas you shouldn't because they took that like barrier off. So really you can get anywhere until the game crashes. But people will do anything to push the game to the limits for amusement because there's nothing else to do in the game right now, but also to truly test these new characters out, that's kind of what they want you to do. Just bend and break them, push them to the limit, you know, see what areas they need to improve on for a final release. And you know, Star Stable, when there's a spoiler that comes out, it's the last iteration of it. There is no changes. Like the new tack spoilers of like the Iberian saddle and stuff like that, and the 4 like full cannon boots and everything, and the bell boots, those are still in grayscale. Like those are still just the model. They're not even painted. There's no texture, nothing. So those obviously are going to be changed before the release, but the whole model is there. They just have to paint it. That's it. The whole model is there. They just have to put the colorways in it, and that's it. Now with this, like, these characters are not in the game file, because if so, anyone would be able to hack it and get in there, just like you can see all those tack spoilers. So this is different, where something that's in the game files, 99.9999% of the time, it's the final product, because it's already there. These characters are not in the game files, and I don't think it's because they're not finished. I think it's because they want there to be like hype for something, you know what I mean? So they don't want just anybody to be able to hack and get access. They want to limit it to the testers so that they have some hype for the rest of the community to look forward to. So with only the testers having access to it and kind of showing it off, and the intent is to have hype around it, they want the testers to have a product with no glitches, no anything. Even though that's the point of a test, is to find glitches and let the team know about it, but they probably don't care. They probably just want a clean product, no more glitches. And then for those creators to spread the word, like, look what Star Stable's done, a new character that completely works, no glitches, they look nice, whatever. And then, and by the way, that's also an opinion, if they look nice or not. But anyway, I think that's what it is. Like, they pulled the beta testing because it's not really ready for release, but that's the whole point. It's a test. But anyway, it's not ready for release, but they want to show a product through these beta testers that is ready for release. That's what they want to show the community, is a product that is much improved from the last test and ready for release, because the next time the beta test goes live, it's gonna be the final product. I promise you it is, because you know how they are. They don't do any changes between spoilers and stuff like that. So that's what I think it is. The product isn't ready for release, and they're kind of missing the plot of what a test is for. But they probably found some issues on their own without the beta testers, and so they're just fixing those really quick, and then they're gonna commence the testing. And it's not really going to be testing, it's going to be playing with the characters that are already finished, and then they're going to be no more testing after that, and a release in a few months. I would put money on it, honestly. So I'll have to look into that, but I felt like it was a little bit weird to pull a testing round for a product that is meant to be tested right now, because they're clearly not ready. But I'm not on the team. It's not my job to decide what's like necessary or not. But anyway, I'm just curious about that. So I'll look into that and see what's up. I'll probably have the information in the next video, because I'm gonna record that one right after this. But anyway, yeah, I was just thinking about that. Little bit of a tangent. This race I always have to do like super slow. Or else you completely lose control. Like, it's better to just do this. It may take a minute, but For me, it's better to do this than to do like 100 loop-de-loops trying to get back to the jump when they're so close together like that. All right, I love the gauntlet. I know they changed the colors of the jumps. They used to be like a lot brighter, like yellow, green, purple, stuff like that. So these are much more Golden Leaf Stables vibes with the fall colors. That's okay. I do prefer the bright colors, but we have that like snake bite race in Jarlheim, so that's where all the bright jumps are now. This one and the cross-country one in Southhoof are probably my two favorite races right now, honestly. And now I'm failing every single jump, but it's okay. It's so pretty, this area. This used to be my home staple for the longest time. And it's another good one because it's very involved in the training route. So you don't have to like trailer right away to do races from here. Like I would start here and then go to Jasper's, go to the riding hall, go to Silverglade, like just go from here. So it's a great spot for a home stable and it's absolutely stunning over here. So now we're gonna go to Jasper's. All right, so this was part 6 of making a training route. I'm gonna add this to the playlist. It's extensive by now, but there are a lot more to come to finish this training route. So just stay tuned. See you guys in the next one.